Do we want to? Okay.
So, yeah,
Okay, this is a very informal, quick meeting of Local Works. It is February 18. We were going to be presenting the survey to the EDIC, but that meeting is canceled because we won't have a quorum for the EDIC. So we're going to use this time now just to talk about budget for next year because budget requests are due Thursday.
Yeah. So currently, the last year's budget, the Local Works had a budget of $400, of which $120 was used for the website. The remaining $280 was set aside for printing, the survey report and things like that. So we still have most of that money for the printing set aside for the rest of the calendar year.
Can we use it though?
Yeah, I mean, our budget is till
July
31st.
Right.
So that money that we have is still good for this year, but we're trying to set the fiscal year 2015 budget, which will be July 1 to June.
But we can use fiscal 14 monies after July 1st.
No.
Until the end of the year.
No.
No, not the calendar year, the fiscal year.
Right.
Okay, the fiscal year. Okay.
So we have another, I guess, three and a half, 4 months.
Okay.
And how much do we have left of that?
280
Have you used it all for the...
for the printing. We got all the printing done actually in the last calendar year with the survey.
That's right.
So,
Well, we still need to...
or not the last calendar, the
the results though.
We still
Right,
need to
so-
print hard copies of the
right. So
results.
that money, that 300 is set aside in Local Works printing budget. It's still up to the committee for exactly what is going to be spent. I did get some numbers on the report, just quickly, sort of, but we can get into that later. But what I want to do is just quickly talk about what the committee wants to make a request to the mayor for what line items that we want to see funded and for how much. And keeping in mind that this still has to go through Jessica, and then has to go through City Council, and then the mayor. So
Well, it actually has to go through Jessica, then the EDIC, then the mayor.
well, the EDIC's not meeting again until after the budget requests are due.
But I can just say on behalf of the EDIC, yes.
Right, and so we're going to submit one budget for EDIC and Local Works if EDIC has anything that they want to submit.
I'm wondering
But we
about
can
the
do that
cleanup
offline.
day. Do we, have we, I know last year it was a weird scramble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
Although it's inappropriate to talk about their, I don't think it's inappropriate. Local Works is a division of EDIC, so.
No, and we gave them money, so I don't think it's inappropriate at all to talk about it.
Well, okay, so I think if I threw out the figure of $500, would I have to have that justified as
yeah,
well?
everything needs to be justified. Jessica basically needs to have for every line item, when she makes her recommendation to the City Council, every line item needs a justification, an explanation, how it's going to be used, why it's going to be used. The city is still short on money, so it takes a very hard sell to have a new budget line item.
Yeah.
So we should, if it cost us $120 for the website last year, we should budget the $120 for the website and maintenance thereof to continue
Plus-
paying for the domain and whatever.
Plus a few percent.
Well, I would say 150.
Well, okay, 150. Also, in addition to, we're not going to have a printing cost next year, but we might want to think about asking for some of that money to do some web development.
Yeah.
You know,
Can you put it under the umbrella of media? Or do we have to be specific?
We have to be specific. If there's a
Yeah.
line item that it falls under, if it's purchase of, supplies and materials, or if it's purchase of professional services, so if we're doing website.
yeah, so
professional
web
services.
development would be professional
Right,
services.
so
yeah.
for this, if we just say generally web development, we can find what line item it's going to go
Okay.
under.
100?
No, I think it should be like 300, for the year, yeah. Because we don't know, I would say to be a little more liberal with that particular budgeting line item because we don't know what we're going to do. We haven't discussed it as a group, and it's better to have a little money and a little push to do it. Clearly, we can find someone who can work with WordPress, who can do it inexpensively, but what we have to spend will determine where we go with that project. So for example, we had discussed generating some kind of a directory of local works members or whatever it is, or just businesses, period. If we're going to do that, somebody's going to be inputting all that information, or somebody's going to be designing a template to input that information.
Do you think 300 might be asking too much?
I mean, that's the, based off last year's budget, EDIC and Local Works had $400,
Yeah.
and it's not good. So.
Well, I mean, I would suggest asking for $300 for web development and technology support, and if they say no, they say no.
Oh, okay, but if they might, what I'm trying to get at is, if they say no, would they say no, nothing, or say no, but you can have this much?
And they can also cut it down.
They can do
Whatever they
want.
See, that's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to
But if you
avoid having them say, I want this much, and they say, no, get out of here.
And so if there's a strong, web development, we need to, this is our goal, we're going to work on these things, we have this consensus, this is what's going to happen, and
well, we're just not in a position to say that because we didn't meet, and the
right,
whole,
so then-
like today
so-
was
so-
about...
So then we can't do it then.
so then that makes Jessica unable to present it in an informed way to the city council, and they're not gonna, because they're gonna go, well, you already have a website.
Yeah.
And if you can't articulate a clear reason for why
Well,
X, Y, and Z,
Can we articulate that we're asking for $300 to develop a directory of businesses for the website?
yes,
So
that would be much more.
Yeah, and that's not a huge amount of money to generate a directory.
So, are you talking the total of 300 or 300 above and beyond the 150 we talked about?
Beyond and above, yeah, over and above. Because the 120, possibly more, 150 is really just covering the cost of having the website, paying for the domain, right?
Well, given that we only had 400 before, and this is already 450, and I was going to hopefully put a little bit in for the mulch.
I feel like that's inappropriate from Local Works. I mean, I think that's great that EDIC should, you know what I mean? Like, we gave it
But
to
Local Works is part of EDIC.
Right, but,
And hopefully they're
so
about
is it a
to become
combined
more of a
budget?
part.
Is that-
Yes.
Yes.
So it's a combined budget, okay,
It's
then put
its
it,
own
yeah,
budget.
definitely put it in.
Because
So I would say 200 for web development and 200 for the mulch. And that way we're asking for 550, and that's $150 above what we have.
But, so last year, we had, what does the EDIC have for this year, 2014?
Nothing.
nothing.
They have nothing, so there's no...
The EDIC budget last year consisted of them saying, yeah, we like Local Works budgets, and pass that along.
Okay, so we had the Local Works budget, the 2013 Local Works budget is what paid for the mulch for last year. This year, we have $400
We have $280 unspent,
unspent.
of which
Currently,
we
which-
also wanted to do.
So we're gonna do the printing, so we won't be able to make the same level of donation
Right.
of $400 to the EDIC for the mulch.
Right, that's right.
Okay.
At least we're going to do something.
Right, so, okay. Just getting all that straightened out, because I sort of jumped in the
So I
middle.
think 150 for the website itself, 200 for development, and another 200 for the cleanup day.
Okay. And so there's no printing or anything that we see on the
From next
horizon that we need to cover?
Not that we planned, I mean, it's sort of like really bad timing, because all we've talked about is the survey, and not knowing.
I mean, the thing is, once the budget's set, we do have flexibility to move things from one line item to another line item if things,
Well, that's good then.
but it's not, the best case is to put forward what we're looking for in each line item that we know we're looking for.
Okay, then I'd say we should add a $200 line item for printing any directories that we come up with. That's yours.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, because they can just say no, right?
I know, but I don't want them to say no.
When we ask for-
I want to give them this. I want to give them something that has a reasonable chance of getting approved. And sure, they may say, well, no, you're asking for too much, but we'll give you less. But they may also say, look, last year you asked for a budget that was way too high, and we said less. This year, we're not going to do that. If you can't come to us with a reasonable budget, we're just going to say no.
Yeah, but last year, didn't we lose money in the budget because we hadn't spent the money?
No, initially, what we asked for.
We asked for, what we asked for was a one-time, we had about, I don't know, 1,800? 1,500. We spent about 1,200 on the survey. We gave a bunch, the mulch donation, and the website and some of the service, the SurveyMonkey and stuff. So we went through the budget basically, but it was the understanding was that was a one-time budget, and that we were supposed to use those things for these sort of larger projects. And now we're asking for sort of like operating expenses to keep going. And so anything that and that operating expense is about $400 from the last year. So if we go up to, $550 or $800, we're asking for a 100% increase, which again has to be justified. Which I'm not saying no. I'm just trying to say we need to justify it and have good reason. Otherwise, Jessica's just going to say no, or the city council's just going to say no.
All right, so basically what I'm hearing is that we can ask for it, but it's probably not going to be approved. And why present them with something that then they have to go back and edit?
Right. Let's present them with something that we think we have a good chance of getting. I'd feel more comfortable with $100 for printing, since we don't even know that we're going to need it or not.
Can we split the web development and 100 for web development, 100 for printing?
Well, actually, no, let's just leave it for web development, because you said that once it's approved, we can move things from one line item to another. I say we leave it at this.
So,
$550.
site development and mulch.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay.
I mean, I wonder, it feels like mulch probably won't be. That would be the easiest no.
Well, they know that we do this every year. So,
Okay, I mean, I don't know how the city deals with that. I just, it might be one of those things though where if you happen to have a little bit of a surplus, it'd be easier to transfer to than ask for $200.
It's
we won't.
always better to budget it appropriately and in the right categories, so that way we don't have to.
Did you have to go to the finance department if you want to shift funds to a different thing?
Yeah, it's a hassle. I mean, because the base of the city council's approved X for that, and so then to switch it around, you're now messing with the budget, so it's messy.
Okay. So you will submit that on our behalf.
Yep, and I might ask you for a write-up, something like a few lines that what we're going to do with the web development, what we're planning to do, or maybe you want to just send me a quick, just so I can give it to.
Actually, would you, because you've got a clearer idea of that. I don't necessarily think it's just for developing a directory on the web. It's also a site.
But we've just had like 10 minutes to formulate a plan, so that's what I came up with.
No, I wasn't criticizing.
No, I know. I'm just saying like, oh, okay, what are our priorities for the next year? Go!
I'll do it.
Yeah.
So one of you can email me today or tomorrow, so that when we submit the budget, they're due on Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to do it. I'll email you.
Just like a 1 or 2 lines, just something that I can send along. So
sure.
Because I'm not 100%.
Okay, you'll do that?
Okay, yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
And the website's easy because that's something that's continued maintenance and we can demonstrate. And the mulch is EDIC's sort of input into it.
So we're doing both. So it's going to go to the EDIC and then funnel out to local works in that way. So we're really doing a budget for the EDIC.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's very likely that by that time that comes through, local works will be a part of it.
Right.
Will be one and the same.
Right.
Okay, so our next meeting, Obviously, so we're not going to be presenting the survey to the EDSC because no quorum has been canceled. I'm going to try and see if we can do both meetings a week ago.
So that has to be
Thursday.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to send out an email as soon as I get home saying, is everyone free on the 27th? Or 26th, whatever it is. But so I'd like to be able to present the survey to the EDSC then.
Okay.
We do have some copies printed out.
I will not have the color, but I just want to run a couple of different things by you.
Okay, sure.
That in black and white sort of mocked up before we go forward with the printing. So
Just a point, are we going to need to vote on any of this stuff?
we've already voted on it.
Okay, so
Right, the committee already decided they wanted to
So you want to leave?
print.
Yeah,
So-
no, that's not my question. The question is, do we need to vote on anything from here on out?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I think we can do it by consensus. Have to just-
Then yeah, here we go. Let's get this now.
Thank you.
Drive careful, please.
Yeah,
Well, I will. Plus, they have some really cool
Kudos once again for the documentary.
yes,
Oh, did you like
documentary
it?
was great.
Oh,
by the way.
yeah.
I loved it. I'm sorry I wasn't there for the Friday.
Oh, that's okay.
I saw it on Saturday.
I had to make a-
You had some people clapping on Saturday when I watched it.
Did we?
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. It was a fun day. It was a great thing that Liz pulled together. My kids had a blast. They were outside from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
That's great.
It's awesome. Okay,
So
great.
here's the
Let's go.
sort of large scale. That would be on a nicer cover stock, and obviously in color. Opens up to that.
You know what? Let me tell you something. I have the English instruction, and I will help you with the one to come.
So you've got a folded 11 by 17, you probably ever thought of doing it this size too?
Well, no, one or the other.
Right.
This in color with a nice, like just a slightly thicker cover, we're looking at about $10 to $15 a piece. And if we were to scale it down to an 11 by 17,
No, 8.5 by 11.
sorry, 8.5 by 11,
Which is a,
so if you can, it's the same thing, it's just on a square paper. I can read it fine.
I just sit there
That one's slightly different, it's just,
looking at the prototype side.
yeah.
because the print is small. How much is this?
It would probably be closer to $10 a piece.
So 10 to 15 or just flat 10? Or could this
I mean,
be-
I would have to get, I called and got a ballpark quote from a couple companies, and so I'm just trying to see what we're looking at. But basically, because we're looking at doing a small run,
Yeah.
it's all being done with like color copiers, and it's all.
Color lasers.
The advantage is 8.5 by 11 paper is cheaper than 11 by 17 paper, so we do
question,
some cost savings, but
I would vote for this, with a possible exception, it's just the print is kind of small.
But you can't really, how much more can you increase it to be on that size? I know, just,
You can't, I mean, this would be the size print of this.
I mean, without reformatting the entire
right, I
thing.
realize that, yeah. It's not gonna be that much bigger. If it's 10% bigger, it's probably max.
And this is probably an 8-point, this is probably a 12-point, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is just a PDF scaled down, so it's actually not to.
See, here's the only thing, the people who are going to be looking at the printed ones are, without making generalizations, I'm making a generalization, are probably going to be older people whose eyes aren't as good.
Mine aren't that good either.
I mean, but then again, hopefully they'll help lots of. But if it's really not that big a cost
That's what
difference,
we want.
It doesn't seem to be that it's going to be that much cost difference.
I say do it with this. If we have to do a couple fewer, do that. But caveat though, have some of these just done in black and white for us to give to the EDIC people.
Okay. I mean, I can do these in black and white here for free.
Great.
I won't be able to get a nice cover, and I don't really know how to get the staple in the middle.
And you have to have a special statement for this,
Yeah.
saddle stitch, and then the printer would do that. But so no, none of these for next Tuesday.
None of these?
None of the big ones.
You don't want any of the big ones?
Not for next Tuesday.
You just want like,
Just this today.
what, don't make 10 copies of it?
Yeah, 10 copies would be great.
No, but that's what they're moving for.
And they'll be black and white, and,
Black and white, that's fine.
It's not
Okay.
history for that.
Yeah. And then, so I think for printing, I think we should go for the 8.5 by 11, or the 11 by 17.
You can see that it's.
And do,
we have $280 in the budget, so,
we could probably do about 15.
but I mean, I think, considering the cost, if we want to give any money to the EDIC for the mulch, we should really just figure out where we want to get these copies to. And,
You know, I don't think we have mulch money this year.
well, right, so if not,
So
then,
we're gonna have to figure out something else for mulch money this year for EDIC.
but I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, if we have a copy in the planning department, put a copy in the library, a copy at,
Well, I think maybe 2 copies in the library, and maybe 2 copies in each of the senior centers. So that's 5.
which is,
The chamber.
Oh, the chamber too, okay. 6. I wanted to have a couple at,
yeah, we need city arts,
okay.
chamber.
Well, okay, then let's just do 1 in each of the senior centers.
Each.
What are the senior centers?
The 2 places where we have the surveys in hard copy for people to fill out last night.
It was the senior center and the library.
We
And,
leave that at
but we also have it at the community center.
Who else is going to come in and take it?
I hope the feds did know that.
There were 2 places besides
The
Big
library,
E.
the library,
So do we have the library? Yeah, we did.
I'm pretty sure that it was the library.
I'm almost positive what was it.
Let me know.
Well, okay, so anyway, so let's have,
No,
that's right.
I think it was.
And I don't have the right fit.
His annual is 4 months. And Valley.
Yeah, so that's who I was talking to going out.
Top chip. You do it- That is a
We
really.
just got run.
Community center, Emily Wilson, Big E's, the Summit magazine, and all that.
Oh, we were talking.
Okay. Okay, so I think have 1 in at least, we don't need 1 at Big E's. So 1 at the senior center.
You want to get additional.
Library,
You want to get a server.
Definitely the library.
I think 2 at the library.
okay.
If this goes through.
But the thing is, the terrace is where you can deputy it.
One at the chamber.
1 at the chamber.
Or try that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And 1 at City Arts Plus.
Arts, one, let's say 2 in the planning department.
So 2 at planner, we go back, 2 at the library, 1 at the chamber, 1 at the council on aging, 1 at the community center, and 1 at ECA plus.
So that's 7.
Wait, so,
Make it 8.
Senior center, library, chamber, city arts, planning.
in Council on Aging, we didn't have the things before.
They do.
That's what I mean, I meant that by senior center. That's
Oh,
what I
senior center, okay, yeah.
meant. But no community center, is what you're
Do we
saying.
want to put
No
a,
community center, right? Well, is the community center manned? Is there someone there?
Yeah.
yes.
So it's not getting trashed or anything?
No.
Yeah, okay. So
It
I
depends.
mean, I don't know what they have for like literature space, and I don't know really, you know,
Yeah, I'll do the purchase order.
well, this is 8. If we have 2 at the planning department, 1 at the senior center, 2 at the library, 1 at the chamber offices, 1 at City Arts Plus.
one for the mayor,
Well, no, I think the
one
mayor can use
for the city clerk.
But those are the 2 that are in this,
No, you're saying.
No, I think they need their,
do they have to be the color ones?
Every year they got to do.
This is kind of a formal report, right?
Yeah.
It's not working.
Okay. But why the city clerk?
And we don't need to, I mean,
How about have one of the city clerks and one here, the planning board?
okay.
Okay.
Alright, so that's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9.
Okay. So again, mayor's office 1, planning department 1, city clerk 1, library 2, community center 1, senior center 1, chamber offices 1, city arts plus 1.
I don't think Kathy doesn't need one in her office.
No, she doesn't.
No, the digital one should be fine.
Okay, so that's 9. Okay,
All right.
great. But for next Tuesday's meeting, I think 10 of the black and white ones.
So if they're $15 each, that's $135.
So,
Right.
yeah,
Yes. All right. Yeah.
yeah, 150 minus 15.
Do we need an extra copy for any reason?
Do we get a price break if we get 10?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I doubt it because it's all just going through.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Look at it this way. We'll print up another one if we need it. You know, they'll have the file, whoever does it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's going to be
It's not...
something
It's
that they
not
have.
setting up a 4-color press to do it.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they're basically just going to print out a nice cover and fold it and stick it with.
Okay.
Who are you looking at?
What's that?
Who are you looking at for pricing?
I contacted Puffer and
Paradise?
Paris. Thank you. And I'm going to give collective copies a call too.
This under its local works, we have to go with lowest price, all right?
We have to contact. Well, because of the quantities, we're not actually beholden to any.
Not because of them, it's under $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's under I believe $1,000. We can just solicit.
But you need to get the 3 prices.
No. But under 5,000, I think we need 3, and then like under 15, it's like a full bid. I'm not 100% on these,
Okay.
but I'm pretty sure that for just a small run through foot. I mean, I've contacted the 2. I'm going to contact the 3rd just to be safe and sure. But
Okay.
all of them are local companies.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
So you'll let us know next meeting, but tentatively scheduled for next Tuesday?
Shoot for next Tuesday. I'll send the email as soon as I get home.
Okay.
I'm going to turn the tape. Adjourn. Thank you. Did you hear anything?